So I'm here with David officially to work on website one. At the moment, I'm just trying to sort out some tech issues I have with Slack. And so with the Agile Ventures page, not pulling in any Gravatar images, just had a look at the WordPress tab and some other WordPress blogs. It seems like there's a fair bit of content that's not being pulled through. It seems like there's some kind of problem with Gravatar. Or, yeah, not sure what to do next. Oh, great. Can't get to the Fiverr. Okay, maybe whatever the problems with the internet were yesterday, they haven't sorted themselves out as well as I thought. And it's like on one page I could never load yesterday was National Rail Inquiries. I'm going to try and load that. Okay,
Have
well this
do you share your internet connection in the house with many people?
only with one, and I don't think he. Well, I'll just go and check with him. But
Well, no, I just wondered if that person doesn't mind you resetting the modem.
oh, I see. We did that a few times yesterday when we were having this issue. I'm actually slightly reassured now because this looks like I thought yesterday's issue was fixed because it's sort of running faster, but it's still not. It's still got this thing just not loading a lot of sites at all.
Oh, maybe we can just sort of carry on with pair programming and
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then as long as there's nothing stopping us from Codan, and as long as it looks like we've got everything we need. We've got a Hangout and screen sharing. So, yeah, I'm just going to get a glass of water. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Okay. So basically, I'm still more or less where I was before. So I've written this method here. I'm not sure it's. Can you see it? Okay.
just waiting for it to download. Oh yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. So I'm not. I think it was working. Let me check. I can't even remember for sure if I got it to pass the test. I think I did though. Such file. Can't load such file. What? Okay, this is new. I'm in the wrong place completely. Yes, I am. That's the problem. Why am I here? Let's just put this tab. That is what I want to do. So yeah, so I'd written a test that basically just tested this method to help get it working. So what I've been trying to do here is get this to output like this sort of thing here. And I'm not actually sure if this is the right way to do it. I was sort of, just poking around a bit. So we've got here in JavaScript an array of what do you call them, objects, I think, in JavaScript, where each one has 2 keys and 2 values. The keys are all the same. keys are uniform throughout the sets, and each one is a country code, and then the number of people in that country, which is at the moment hard-coded. So somehow I want to get something like this into into JavaScript from the real database. So this at the moment is returning something. I think it wasn't saved. See what happens if I save it and run it again. So yeah, this at the moment should be returning the spec. Yeah, I've sort of just created two users in different countries, and we're getting back a Ruby array with 2 hashes, each with these 2 things. So it's sort of the closest you could get in Ruby to what we were just looking at here. I'm not actually sure if that's a right way of doing it, because I'm not entirely sure if it's possible to pass that data in exactly that form to JavaScript, but it seems like I should probably be able to pass it as a string, if nothing else. And
yeah, but what's happened to the so this is the test to see if it's appearing as a hash. Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately you want it as a string.
Yeah. But
that's the interesting part of the code, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, converting it to a string isn't that as simple as doing 2s? I just
Really?
do that. Yeah, that looks like.
Well, what about two underscore JSON?
Well, yeah, I was wondering about that, except that seems a bit funny because it moves.
Is it a string? Doesn't like that. What have we done wrong?
Oh, it's all in line. Yeah, because it's an array.
Oh, I think you're in the regular IRB though. If you were in Rails console, you would have access to a 2 underscore JSON method.
Right. This always takes some age to boot up. Oh, this is why I was in the regular IRB.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's 2 JSON. JSON. Well, let's find out. So yeah, then so that bit seems. The difference between 2JSON and 2S.
Do you see the difference between the 2 formats?
Yeah, this is.
That looks like the test that you showed me, or the example data that you just showed me to me, except with the backslashes to quote the.
Yeah, well, it's also got colons instead of arrows.
Well, because that's JavaScript. That's why it's got colons. That's what I mean is it looks just like the example data that you showed me after the test. The one that you showed from the ERB file.
From this, yeah, no, yeah.
It's actual JavaScript there with colons and commas.
Yeah, so I guess this is what we want. So, yeah, so now I guess we just want to figure out, like, we want to make, so what form is this? JSON. So it is in a sort of array thing. So what if we just kind of, can you still hear me?
Yes, I just muted my mic for a moment.
God. So I guess we want like just this here to be the result of that. And I know Thomas sent me a thing. We use the HTML function, but I don't know. Let's see if I can still access it. Even if Slack is misbehaving. So yeah, this is the code that Thomas sent me. I think most of this is sort of not that relevant. So there's this bit here where he uses a jQuery lookup, then an HTML method, and then as the argument he gives a Ruby string, or an embedded Ruby string rather. I'm not sure what the equivalent of this bit here would be though. Whether we just call.
I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole piece of code at all. Can we go through it line by line? And
this bit, yeah.
Yeah, that all 5 lines I don't understand.
So as far as I can see, like it's only the top line that's really relevant. But do you know jQuery?
A little.
I mean, I'm not sure that I can tell you much that you won't know already. I only know real basics on it. But so this is the sort of jQuery, sort of called to the jQuery library. I think it's just like any jQuery command starts with a dollar.
That's right.
So this I think is a lookup. So this is looking for an HTML element. So it would be hash is going to be an ID. So it would be looking up something with the ID hash organization.
Right. So there's a chunk of ID,
and then
we got HTML. I'm assuming this just writes HTML into the.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I see. We don't need that. Organizations, partials, info. What's the little? I don't know what the J character means before it says render.
No, well this
render.
Well, this line here must be Ruby on Rails. I would guess it's just JavaScript or something. Render.
And it's a string. I'm assuming the first bit's a string.
What, this bit here?
Organizations, partials, /info, the thing in single quotes.
Subject. Organization.
Well,
I'm wondering if like we really need more, because we don't need to look anything up per se. I don't know. Like we're not looking in a bit of the page because we're just some Ruby.
You've made a helper method. The other thing we could do is just start from the other end and write in the ERB whatever code, the code we would like to have, if you like. If you give that philosophy.
So yeah, all right. Well, so that would come Well, let's just, I don't know where to put it. Let's just put it. So, what did I actually call the method? HR data. I'll put this at the easiest spot on the page. And now I'm running localhost. Okay. This probably is going to take a little while to boot up as well. Okay. So, okay, so we've got this appearing. So, how do we, yeah, so I sort of feel like it shouldn't be that difficult. It's just a question of knowing the right method, which might even just be that HTML method, but I'm not sure. It seems like all we want to do is make var data the equivalent of passing this string.
Yeah, you're fine. Well, actually, just do exactly that. Use the script tag and surround that by the script tag. And then put something like name an object and do script. Then you would just start writing some JavaScript, and you would just say, what do we have at the top of a script? We assign a variable at the very top, don't we?
Yeah.
An anonymous function. So you'd want that. Oh, there's $1 for jQuery. I'm not quite sure why that's there, but it works. And, yeah. So, yeah, that means just assign the data.
So this bit.
Var data equals. So that's a literal string that we would just paste into the page where we need it.
So you're suggesting I just play around here like this?
Yeah, and I think if you run that, then I think that was the new data that you just sent over to it.
I don't think it will be able to do this because it's going to interpret this as JavaScript now. Let's see what happens.
I think that's the point. But we'll see.
Yeah, so there's nothing appearing on the page. My guess is nothing's happening here. It's just sort of showing there. Let's look at the console.
So something must be happening, but I don't know whether it's catching the data from the first part of the page or the second part. Syntax error, that's a good sign.
Expected token. 1056. We didn't go as far as 1056 in this.
That's a hyperlink on the bottom right. Should jump you right to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's those quote marks giving us a problem, I think. It shouldn't have and quat, semicolons everywhere.
Yeah.
And they should be good, just quote marks. So that leads me to wonder if we want to create a controller method and suck that in as a separate. That seems mad. But to spit the JSON out from the controller rather than have the view go get it directly.
So yeah, I'm not sure what you mean.
So what I'm trying to say is that as we have a custom action in the controller that would be, I don't know, chart data. And instead of calling this method in the ERB, use high chart data to JSON, we would call the controller method.
Control.
Or we'd write JavaScript to call the controller method, much in the way that Thomas has done.
Where's Thomas done that?
Isn't that what his first line does? In that example in Slack that you showed me. It's written JavaScript that pulls down a. The JavaScript has an HTML method that renders a partial. Oh, so it's a view partial. I don't know, I don't see that. There's something about his partial inside of his partial that makes me think it might be useful. It's about right now.
So when you say put it in the controller, as far as I understand, like it would do the same thing almost wherever we put it. Maybe that's not right.
Well, it's designed to work in. So what have we done wrongly? It works in. It works as a controller method because that's how we do Ajax-y stuff.
What do I want to do? Something like this?
The request is a JSON request.
Yeah, I want to do something like that. That's probably not right, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The entire thing seems to be a string. Let's see. Hasn't done anything very much. Unexpected end of script. Okay.
So what does it look like when? What does the browser see this time?
Well, how do you mean? Like what's displaying? Or
what does dashboard line 1057 look like this time?
Pretty similar.
Pretty similar, except that it's unexpected at the end of script, probably because I don't know. It looks. Not really explaining why it's not expecting it because syntax highlight looks right.
Yeah. The error is different now. That's my thoughts. So what happens if I just can't remember. Alright. Unexpected identifier data. Oh, forgotten how to use JavaScript. Okay, we don't have a variable data. That makes sense.
Well, if we got unexpected end of, have you commented out the previous lines up to 905, or wherever it was where we had a load of stuff from where we made stuff for high charts? Did the var data equals?
The stuff.
Yeah, that stuff.
I have to comment them out. Will that actually work? It will.
Well, don't comment out the whole thing because you break the chart, I think.
So again,
of that.
Don't comment out this, but comment out.
Scroll right down to the bottom. Yeah, up to around about 890. There's stuff that you need that you don't want to be commenting out.
800. This bit here.
Yeah, keep going up.
Oh, I see.
So see from 9866. Yeah. I can't remember where we got that from, but
the other slightly worrying thing is when you
I
go.
think the other thing is we're initializing at the wrong point in the page now, and I think that we need to do it before all that other stuff runs. So we need to be doing it around about like 9.
Passing over driving to you because I think you're a lot more sure of what you're doing here, and I think
I don't know. Yeah, it's maybe not the most tactful backseat driving today.
No,
yeah,
no,
I should have to drive for a little bit.
Okay, so it's a bit messy now. Let's just undo all this commenting.
Well, as long as you mention in the commit message that it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
So where are we? Okay, so now if I stop screen sharing, pass it over to you. Oh, shit. I muted my mic there. I don't know where that happened. Yeah, so that should be up on my repo if you want to pull that down and screen share.
Alright, can you tell me the branch name?
It's statistics v2.
Oh, okay.
So statistics -v2.
Right, I'll start screen sharing. No, right, just running Cucumber on the previous version of Statistics v2. I'll probably interrupt that. Well, no, I'll leave it running just to make sure the environment is up to date here. So, I think this is the first time I've run it since I've updated all of the gems. But anyway, I'll jump into the code.
Just remembered there's an event tonight that I was potentially supposed to go to. About it. Or
Right. Remind me where the page is.
As in where in the
Yeah, which view directory are we in?
Statistics.
Dashboard. I remember.
You found it?
Dashboard.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. Right. Oh, I didn't seem to get. Oh, of course I haven't got the latest. I didn't realize that I had this stuff, so I can actually run the server now and see what's going on before you. Hurry up. Not loading. Why not?
Your
Server's not
coming through a bit garbled again. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you perfectly.
Oh, I
Problem is,
as well.
it's running. It's my sound somehow.
You've gone garbled again. Hmm. I see.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. There's 2 CPU cores and Cucumber are using one of them, but maybe it's actually using the same one as the Chrome upload's using. I have to get one of these 8 processor core laptops one day and then rest. This is taking a long time to run this. I thought there was a lot of efficiency in Query 4.1 and in website one, but there was a lot of focus on that. But yeah. Right, well, my real server's up now, and it's rendering stuff slowly. Slowly. Okay. See what we know. Get lots of assets. Inside I've developed a toolbar and see what's going on. Here it is. So I've got random data, for example, pick on a big country that's easy to find, Russia 148. Right, I'll give you that we pasted in now. You pasted in last week. This is great. So you set up the data, and you send to the jQuery container this highcharts map request.
Do you want a screenshot?
Title.
No, I'll have a better sense of where you're.
Not screen sharing. It says I'm screen sharing. I'll stop screen sharing.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting anything. Just getting your portrait.
Right, so I have got. Do you see anything yet?
No.
Let's give it another 30 seconds. So all the assets came through. It really worked the first time around. It was still running. Well, we want to upgrade Qcode to have a progress bar. Actually, yeah, there's an option for that, isn't there? You don't have to see all this stuff flying past.
You're coming through quite garbled as well. I wonder if it's worth re-entering with that. Sorry? Yeah, I wonder if it's worth you re-entering to fix the audio, and maybe that will get the screen share working.
Right, I'm screen sharing all over again. Let me know if you get it or not.
No, not at the moment. It's still.
And I can still hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, no, I'm still just seeing your portrait, and actually, still the audio quality is a bit dubious.
And you might have to random driving attempt really shortly then. It's not very handy to navigate when you can't see what the other is doing.
I might go and talk to my dad briefly, because he spoke to this guy who provides ISP yesterday, and that guy said like the whole internet in the UK, so that someone had done something that messed up the entire country a bit, but kind of. I wouldn't expect it to be persisting today. So yeah, give me 5 minutes. I'll go and talk to him and see if he's having similar problems.
Before you do that, I've got 5 failing tests that I suppose I'll just paste wholesale into chat. I've seen them, and I don't know if they're kind of my fault or if you've seen them too.
Yeah. I find failing tests come up all over the flipping shop.
All right, they may be just these timeouts, but they may.
Yeah.
Oh, Discus, they're missing. Oh, I don't know. Discus for 2, missing image. Insert media model. They do sound like JavaScripty ones that may have just timed out.
Yeah. Well, let me. Well, I'm going upstairs. Cucumber on my version. Although, well, let's see how it goes. And I'll see if it duplicates some or all of those failures. Okay, so I'll be back in sort of 5 minutes or so.
All right, I'll play with coding.
Just turn the.
For those listening to the video stream, it's going to be a bit disappointing. So even if I try and commentate on what I'm doing, you can't see my screen, so it might be a bit of a struggle. But I'm going to get my code from Arapo, from Sasha, from GitHub, and try and work on it anyway. Sasha will do. So I'll reload this page with the latest code. Right, new method. Alright, this is a mess. Agile Ventures access denied. Routing error. I'll probably need to What was it? The old groups. What was going on?
Hello.
Hello.
Aha. Looks like the problem was on my end. We seem to have screen sharing working.
Right. I've got the problem which is kind of slowing me down.
Let's see.
Have you seen it before?
It's interesting. I got the same, almost the same failures as you did by the looks of this. Ugh, I don't know what to do about that. Just kind of seems like the story of my life with Website One is I try and work on a feature and get a bunch of failure tests from something else. I'm not sure what the best thing is in that case.
Right, I will step back maybe. Oh, I'm in the Rails console anyway, so I can do some playing. So let's see. I could do hash equals this hash from here. No, hash equals the same kind of thing that we're doing.
Something else that slightly worries me is actually if you go and look at the high charts stuff in
Is it a
there.
hashes, by the way? Oh, yeah, it's an array. It's an array of hashes which doesn't have us in it. So I'll just do one hash and just see how it comes out. I have a feeling that. Tell me what you were going to say about high charts. I just interrupted you.
It's like if you now look at it, they seem to have changed the code that is displaying on their website and their sort of example stuff. But it's so I was gonna take the new stuff, but it's a bit harder. You know, it doesn't. It seems like they've basically made a more complicated version, and now they have similar looking code, but it's only for a map of Denmark. I'm not really confident enough to start monkeying around with that.
Yeah, especially that I had this. We had it running with the demo code a moment ago, so it's presumably.
Yeah, it seems like it's still functioning.
Right. Hash a. See if this thing what I think. Oh, can't spell. Right, so this is \quote, and this is something that Christopher just recommended to me on the same thing. And ERB in Rails. It can be done. Oh. Back Rails console. The next. Oh no, that shouldn't help. Let's see.
Sorry, it was just something of text. I haven't been paying much attention. So what are you up to?
We're trying to find a quick way of testing ERB in the console.
Of testing what, sorry?
The way ERB renders embedded Ruby.
The console. Oh, I see. Huh. So, well, I mean, is it like what's wrong with just running the Ruby without worrying about the embedding?
Okay, my problem is that Ruby seems to be fine and working. It's the embedding that seems to be messing it up and getting it unreadable to the JSON. That's my opinion anyway. But my website server's not working. So, well, another thing I can do with is web server to get it working again.
Yeah.
This is all the code you've changed in the last checkout, and it's got nothing to do with messing up the routes. I mean, if I was to do get checkout, let's go back.
Yeah, and I've never touched any route details.
Let's see if it now loads.
So your entire thing is just crashing.
The entire website is crashing again, and it's giving, what's it doing in there? Which one's the website? Yeah, it's rendering the error message, writing error page. No, I should say routing error. Yeah, it ran. Get dashboard, and then it just goes. It was working, and then I updated the code, and then I just get these errors each time. I just got it again. Yes, I have. So, I mean, maybe if we go back to another step to where Norbert was working on it.
Are we checking out a different branch?
No, just still working on your branch, but just going back further in history.
Sorry, a different commit as well.
Yeah.
What to say?
I'll just see what I get. Routing error. No, there's something deeper going on. Because there wasn't statistics v2, and all I did was now there was a conflict resolution going on here. I'm going to go all the way back to there. There's a I didn't get that. I've never used called bisect, where you find a working commit and your latest commit, and it will guide you through automatically, just testing them till you figure out which commit breaks it.
Yeah, I did this recently for something else. It wasn't quite as bad as this, but something was just exploding. Uninitialized constant agile.
It's alive now.
Initialized constant finches.
It's this thing that's bothering me. We shouldn't have been working with the schema that I recall. Do you recall anything about the schema when you were pairing with Norbert?
There was. So I did have a problem at one stage where I hadn't run a migration. I mean, it looked nothing like this, but and I don't think I then changed the schema. I think I just ran the migration. It was maybe around the same time, so perhaps worth trying.
Oh, sorry, I've moved ahead. I need to move, get checkout. Right, and now I can do rake. Make happens. Oh, how high resolution your view of my screen is.
I can.
But bundle doesn't. Bundle command not found.
Where's it at?
Right at the bottom left of my screen.
Not found. Wow.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's because I'm not in the virtual machine. Right.
What was the problem?
This is my host machine's console, and this is the virtual machine that is running Rails.
Oh, right.
I mean, let's see. I'll reload this and see if there's anything there. Yeah, it's gone back to the original section. Why wasn't it telling me that I had thingied migrations?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the message I got when I...
Now I've modified DB schema IB, so get oh, and it's this thing. Someone has migrated GitHub owner to GitHub. Oh, added these two strings.
repo.
Maybe that's some other branch that Norbert was working on. It's git name DB schema. I don't think that'll tell me anything useful because I've updated the schema by running the migration.
Mm.
But yeah, I have. But anyway, it doesn't work without it. It still doesn't work though. Maybe I need to stop Rails and start it again.
Stop. As in to...
As in stop Rails server, as in Control C and exit. Start it again. Spring, that's the technology that they use. Not to be confused with Java Spring. That's the technology they use to try and make Rails start more quickly.
Spring.
Mm-hmm. Built into Rails for one. It's alive! Slow but alive. Here's my Rails console. What I think is going on is user. I've got no countries in here, so I need to seed this with some data. Have we got a command that will do that?
Yeah, I wonder where my seeds came from. Possibly. Seeds even hide. They're in DB, is it?
Yeah, DB says usually some script for that.
Nothing obvious. Yeah, I don't remember how I ended up with the seeds on mine. Yeah.
There's something going on here in it. I don't see what if I got seeds. There's a get country.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem like.
These fake guys, right? Fake db:/seed, I think is the command. I guess you should just get def. That one. Ah. Right, I don't seem to have this. Yeah, I don't seem to have this change schema RB that I thought I had before, and is everything still working? The map, I reload the map. Yeah, everything's still working. I don't need to commit anything to schema.rb, so we're okay there. Right. I've got some users now. I don't know if they've got their user country. Code. No. I think we put some in by hand because oh no, there's some. This guy's got a country of Australia, so we've got some things going on. I seem to remember doing that last time we were pairing together. Now,
So you've got some seeds from somewhere.
We've got some countries from somewhere, yeah. But this is coming up as empty. Country code is country code from users. So let's see, user fine.
Can you increase the font size slightly, the zoom slightly? Thanks.
Is that better?
Yeah. And there's this method.
Oh, we changed it to country_name.
Yeah. Country.
Code. What are we doing? The code. The code is none, so we need to assign a country code. And you'll need to remind me because it was about 2 weeks ago. You need to remind me how we got country codes.
How we assigned them.
Yeah, because don't we get them out of?
It was just automatic, and we
created the user.
In the user model, it's sort of automatically taken from some gem. That,
the gem.
Yeah, I don't know how the seeds work. Whether it's even a SEPTA method, is it? Can you just do it manually if you just do find the user and then do country code equals? Can you use that as a second method?
Yeah, I'll do it. See if it happens automatically first.
Country equal. It's promising. Yeah, I really can't remember how I got the seeds on mine. Just sort of showed up. You don't normally pull them, do you? If someone pushes their code to GitHub, it doesn't normally include their data.
No, the data is coming from the IP lookup. It happens.
Yeah, but then I just don't remember ever seeding my database, my development database, or I just can't think. I'm pretty sure I didn't go through this nonsense.
Yeah, you've got data there, haven't you? You've got some users.
Yeah, I've got sort of half a dozen users. Just obscure countries that I wouldn't have thought to. Half of them I haven't even heard of, so I wouldn't have thought to enter them manually.
Great DBC, would you like to delete all the existing projects? I don't think they're any use to me, so yes.
User.count. That sounds promising. User.all or something.
All the users. It's annoying. I've got some country names here.
Yeah, country codes? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I've got some countries: Syria, Zambia, Montserrat, Moldova.
That's interesting. Where did that seed command come from?
SY, ZM, MS, MS, and MD.
Yeah, that sounds like randomly generated. I don't think those are the same ones I have. Events.
For I's 1 to 5, you get them. It's coming up. This object here, country, match up somehow. Alright, well, it should be good enough for testing, which means I should be able to reload this page and see some.
Yeah. Something about.
It looks this is not in that page, but what I should be doing is just running the user.highchart data and a hash, and then being able to run to JSON on it and seeing what it's sort of. All right, but these literal quotes here.
But then I thought that was. What happens if you just try something on my own thing for a second? Yeah, because the literal quotes, I think, are part of, they're part of a JSON, of a JavaScript object, and I don't see how you can convert to JSON and not have them. because without quotes, it would just interpret all of them as variables, I guess, in JavaScript. So it would.
Yes, there have to be quotes. I'm not sure if this backslash is just for the benefit of the of us reading it in the console. Which is why I want to see how it renders, so I can use now the website is working. Is it still working? Yeah, the website's working. I can maybe try and
Going into the view.
yeah, paste it into the view. That's not a bad idea. Right, let's see what happens. Right, so where is my view? Right. So instead of var data equals this stuff, which I'm just going to go ahead and delete. That's I'll delete most of it and then comment it out the rest. This will do. R equals. Well, actually, I will go to this console and just see what data looks like because it should be initialized. Not defined. That doesn't help. And I'll paste what we got here.
Why is data not defined?
And then it's taking data and putting it into the map. Unless data is inside another object. Yes, it's local to this. It's local to this function, but I'm not sure whether. Yeah, it's local, not defined. But then there was an error earlier saying, yeah, I've got an expected end of input, which was the first problem. Right. This is in all the. This is in a different function. So these are local variables. So it's a different data. So the data was not defined when it was needed to be. So I'm going to blow that away. Save that. Reload the page. See if we are on track at last. Same error. Unexpected end of input. Oh, it didn't save. Right. It's changed since last visit. Save anyway.
There's the online 124. Is that script tag supposed to be there? That's a script opening tag and not a.
Back to what was in here. Just do this sort of deletion again. Oh, I see. I didn't delete enough. Right. I want to delete that. Let me just. And come back to this guy. See if it's at all meaningful to the browser. Save that this time. And reload. Illegal.
Oh God, JavaScript errors. I really struggle to know what they're telling me.
Right, so this is illegal. This
Expected token.
colon. Something in here is completely illegal anyway.
I guess we don't want the escapes if we're pasting it straight in. Because they came from when Ruby was representing it as a string, I think.
Yeah. So if I do this instead, I need to escape that. Yes, what I do. Let's see. Place the escape series with escape quotes with
just quotes.
Quote. Do it forward one. Bang, and do all the rest. Right. Save that. And load. I should get these title countries. Just pain. Console. No errors. That's one thing. Mozambique. What countries have I got? Zambia.
That's the problem with random generation. I don't know what.
Better countries. In fact, I'll go change my countries if I'm allowed to. I'll put a Russia in there to use a new. I don't know if I'm allowed to create a new user.
Is Factory Girl for the development database? Do you know? Or would you even want to if you could? I'm not sure.
Build. Go on user, don't you?
Yeah, and then you'd want to give it.
Yeah.
You want to give it like sort of one extra option, I guess. I think when you build it, you can give it the option directly.
And can't you?
That's an argument.
Yeah, she's saved now. So.
Yeah.
And now I have got a Russian in the string, and so I could do the same thing again. Copy and paste this.
Well, as for putting it in here for testing, can we not just change one of the country codes?
Yeah, we could have done, but I just wanted to go back to the source for because I'm going to sure.
Well, I mean, it might be helpful to have it in the development database, but as well. But
yeah, it's kind of jumping up to myself, right? Oh, right. Oh, there's my map. Oh, I've got illegalness again. What's illegal? what is legal about this? Oh, it's
There's a closing quote
double
on
at
this
the
one.
end. Right, so that looks like JSON. It's got a Russian user. Oh, no, I've zoomed it in. Ah. And the Zambian user. I don't know where the string random data comes from. Ah. Right, so that works. The HighCharts doesn't mind that stuff at all.
Yeah.
It looks like. And that came from just running JSON and then stripping out the backslashes from what we got in IRB.
I'm not sure the backslashes would even be there if we did it directly. I think, as you said, it might just be for IRB's benefit.
Right. Comment that out and get rid of this because it was wrong. Right. This time we'll do for data equal somehow we're in the middle of, well, we're just doing something literal. Now we want to get some ERB to drop some data in there.
Will this work?
This is what we did before. It didn't work, and I want to figure out why it doesn't work.
Well, it seems. I mean, I wouldn't have thought it would, because it seems like we're just throwing Ruby syntax into JavaScript directly, and we somehow have to give this string, I think, that contains the Ruby syntax to JavaScript and tell it to run it on this page, where it will then, because it's an ERB page, I think, will then, the toJSON needs an underscore. The console error.
Yeah, and here it is. This time I'm getting JSON, but it's getting me turned into HTML and not a plain script. So maybe. So this is Ruby. So the and quote is not in the plain Ruby toJSON method. It's being added later by the renderer. So we need it not to do that. I don't know what HTML safe does. I think it doesn't change it when I tried it.
I've never heard of HTML safe.
Christopher suggested it in. Oh.
How's that working?
It's working. Christopher suggested it in chat. Yes! Working. I've got somebody in Zambia, I've got somebody in Russia. So that is it. So
okay, that's right. I'm still getting mixed up about what languages you can use.
We have got a real mismatch of languages here because we're starting off in HTML. And then we have a script tag, so we're in JavaScript. Then we get to here, and we're going back into embedded Ruby.
Yeah.
It's giving us a Ruby object, returning a JSON object, which looks like JavaScript. We're safing it. It becomes a string, and we're dropping it that string into line 62, as though it's JavaScript.
Does HTML safe mechanism?
It couldn't be more convoluted if we tried. Although it could be if we added some Ajax in there.
Oh gosh.
But here is what it comes out as. This is what it comes out as when it is served to the browser. It's just coming as this string, which is a array of hashes, or array of what they called in
Objects.
they're just called objects, aren't they? Associative arrays in JavaScript. Key values, key value pairs. So I'm going to save that. And this without load this again with all the comments deleted. 1,000 comments at the end. I didn't want to know. I've already deleted that stuff. Right, this isn't demo data anymore, of course. It's, the other thing we're going to have to do is just take all these scripts and move them over into a script file rather than having them in the page. But
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of refactoring before I would want to submit this as a pull request.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not quite sure how to. Yeah, it's nice that it's working, but if we then put the scripts into a JavaScript file, it's not going to be able to read the embedded Ruby directly anymore, is it?
Oh, that's right. JavaScript doesn't go through the embedded Ruby renderer.
I mean, I wasn't actually expecting that to in the first place, because I thought that by surrounding it with a script tag, we had effectively said, read this as though it's a JavaScript file.
Yeah.
Why I was getting really confused.
Yeah.
Do that.
No, we're not saying anything at all. We're not saying anything at all to Rails. Rails is just treating this whole thing as a chunk of HTML. It really is just a plain string that then you drop bits of Ruby into.
So I guess, yeah, if we're going to abstract that into a JavaScript file, we still need to figure out some way to call Ruby directly from JavaScript.
Right. So shall I ping it? I'll commit and then I'll ping it back to you.
Okay.
You can think about breaking for the day, though, with having made some progress. That's what I'm thinking about, actually.
Having a break.
Well, yes, break. Yeah, I've got to go on and do some other things.
Yeah, I'm certainly up for at least a tea break. If you need to head off, then I'll see if I can figure something. Oh God.
Yeah,
because I can't even load the Rails cast that I want to view, which is something about passing data to JavaScript. I'm going to ring my dad's ISP, give him his phone number, so I'll see if I can get through to him, because I think I'm going to just be stymied on a lot of things if half the internet is missing for me, which is actually what seems to be the case at the moment. But yeah, I'll pull that down from you.
Sure, the tests aren't there. We've just gone ahead and kind of, well, we haven't hacked it, but I think we're doing it the right way, but we haven't got a test to make sure that Yeah, we have. We've got your test, which said that HighChart data did the right thing, and toJSON is just toJSON. These are both built-in Rails methods, so we don't need to concern ourselves with those.
Mm.
Am I talking myself out of... what's the website one culture on Vue specs?
I don't know enough about it to say. I know Tom.
We'll find out later when we do the pull request.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can always add the two. Yeah, I mean, if this data is just for JSON, I can always add the toJSON method. Just for HighCharts, I can always add the JSON method into the test. Yeah, what it's testing for, and then update the method in the model. HTML safe. It really doesn't want to give me any information on HTML safe method. It's like whenever I Google it, it's just coming up with a bunch of Stack Overflow questions about it, but there's not the actual documentation. What's this?
All right, I'll have a look on my side.
That sounds something. This might be more useful. I don't remember how I.
There's no documentation on it. Oh, that's a query. That's not. Oh, where did it come from? That is there a? There's a thing you could. There's a command you can do in the console where you can say food. Let's see.
Is it? Can you call class on that? See if it's still a string.
No, it's an active support safe buffer. So we are in Rails. So there's the file. Maybe we could go to GitHub. But I'm thinking, what is safe buffer? Because it's a method on string output safety. So I'm expecting them to be monkey patching string here somewhere. They're calling the method here. Property of something there. String. Active support safe buffer new cell. That's all it does. It turns it into a safe buffer.
Great.
Which presumably is, oh, there's a whole doc string. There's a lot of documentation here, but it's not. Yeah, there's nothing here. Yeah, oh look, no doc.
Oh, great. What the hell did anyone ever learn of this method?
I don't know, I bet there's a great blog post somewhere about it.
Well, when I searched for it, the second hit on Google for just searching for like HTML safe Rails or something was why everything you know about HTML safe is wrong.
Oh, right.
Tremendously helpful.
Oh, this is the automatically generated documentation from here where it says no doc, so that's not interesting. This is the class that's used to mark a string as being HTML safe. That's how Rails detects whether a string has been HTML escaped or not. I don't understand why that fixes our thing, but our thing has got entities in it, and when I run it through HTML safe on the Ruby side first, it doesn't have entities. It's just got quote marks.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just
So this
I was
is
going to say non-standard ASCII characters, but it's quite likely it's standard characters.
well, I think there's stuff that's not safe to send to. Oh, you know what? I think what we're doing. Oh, right. I'm guessing that what we're doing is we're bypassing the sanitization that Rails does before it makes HTML. Because if you had somebody's name and they had double quote mark, and you wanted to display it on a page, you'd have to turn it into and quote semicolon. If you follow, otherwise it would just be closing out strings in HTML and just make syntax errors in your HTML and a mess.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're bypassing that. But because we're taking stuff out of a database, we're not necessarily causing security problems for somebody. But we could be if the Gmaps API was trying to inject JavaScript into our site. Which sounds a bit far-fetched. Now I say it out loud. So
I'm still parsing this. This is yeah, JavaScript is. What's your first programming language?
I don't want to know that. Have you heard of a language called Fortran?
Yeah.
But actually, there's a language I used before that called let's see, called BBC Basic. So it was a computer.
As in the BBC, yeah.
As in the BBC, as in the British Broadcasting Corporation. Yes, they had a microcomputer. Yeah. This is before PCs came out. This was in 1980.
Yeah, I played on a few of them when I was a kid.
Oh, right. So there you go. Well, that's the programming language they had, and I made myself a program to help me with my music O-level homework.
But I think Fortran is still in use, isn't it?
It is, yes, and it's been updated and improved quite a lot. It's got objects and it's got memory management and things that it just didn't have when I was using it. It's a very, very crude language when I used it. Very, very simple.
Yeah, well, but then the low-level languages seem to be like they'll never go away, as far as I can tell, because they just do everything faster, except get written by humans.
Yeah, they do simple things faster. Yes, they don't do everything faster. Yeah. But yeah, complicated programs like I don't know, Racket or ML or Ruby, they're all written in low-level languages. Ruby,
yeah.
In C.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to try and write Ruby in Fortran. At least not the old Fortran that I knew, because it was just much harder. It was used for systems programming, but it was harder to use for systems programming. So I understand. I never tried.
I do feel like learning C would be a good idea at some stage. I don't know if it's sort of, it sort of feels like it might give a deeper understanding of most of the languages in use today. Certainly Ruby, would mean I could actually go to the Ruby docs and look at the code and then go, I know what that method does rather. I got disconnected from the call for a second there. I better head off anyway, because I just asked someone to call me back in 5 minutes while we were doing that.
I'll email that link to you then. Right.
Yeah. Can you? God, yeah, I might have to give up on Website 1 for the day, because I can't Google stuff. Just literally half the internet is hanging when I try and load it. I'm just trying to remember if I've set you up as a. If I do git pull Dave. Have you pushed the thing to GitHub?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember if I set you up as a as a remote. Is there a way to view your remotes, like for you know something like?
Yes. Let me show you Git remote.
I can't see your screen anymore.
Well, I will send you this in chat then.
Book. See hardware. Ooh. Wait, hold on. Is this what you meant to send me?
Yeah, well, I meant to send you both of them.
Oh, actually,
I'm going to send you the other one by email.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure at what stage to try and learn C. I would like to, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth trying to do immediately or sort of getting a bit more confident with it, because I feel like probably
I dropped it. I got through a third of that book and I was quite enjoying it, but dropped it for other things. But even a third of the way in, it was giving me a lot of insight into the syntax of Ruby and JavaScript, because they are actually quite closely related to C, and well, strongly inspired by C, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's weird. I'm sure I've done ping pong with you on website 1 before, but I don't have you listed.
The reason was you were driving the whole time. You didn't push anything over to me. So my well, here's me.
Right.
I'm just decorking. So here's my.
So how do I set a new remote? Git. Adding a remote. Come on. Remote add origin. Right to be called. David. And then where's it gone? Okay. Okay. Is it?
This is a command here. That should work.
Couldn't find remote ref statistics v2.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah. Oh god. It might just be a connection issue actually. Just tried loading it and it's not immediately working.
I didn't push the right branch. Default.
What's your GitHub username?
Decorking. On the chat there on the right hand side of
Just getting lost in
Hangouts.
windows.
I've pushed it this time, so you should find the remote ref this time around.
Statistics v2. Oh, there we go. Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah, I should head off for a bit. I thought I was going to be around later on, but there's another job fair thing in London that I just desperately don't want to go to, but seems like I absolutely should. So, so I'm kind of I probably need to head off relatively early for that. It's on the far side of London.
Yeah.
So,
yes. Well, take plenty of time to prepare and get your revise your pitch and your resume, because it sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Yeah,
CV.
that's the last thing I want to do. I think I want to go in and feel as relaxed as possible and come across like a human being.
Yes, and just uh, uh, don't do the hard sell, and yeah, just relax and wait for them to say, yeah, do you have a CV for me? And
Yeah, it's frustrating. They don't seem to say which companies are presenting. Um, which they say which ones have presented at like the last ones in Berlin.
well, that's a bit lame, isn't it?
Yeah, that would kind of make it a lot easier to prepare for, I think. But yeah,
And they've got one coming up in February of next year, but you got something coming up sooner.
yeah. Oh, hold on. Am I looking in the wrong place? Yeah, I'm looking in the wrong place. Ah. Yeah, so I thought it was tonight, but a friend of mine said there was something on tonight, and he sent me this link. So I
Oh,
assumed without actually really looking that it was in fact tonight. Oh, come on, page.
you got to rely on friends for stuff like that. It's annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be
All
no.
right. Well,
Now I'm really confused. So now I don't know if there is anything on tonight or not. Um, right. Well, tech meetups. Anyway, yeah. I'll flap after that. I'll be very relieved if it's not on tonight, to be honest.
yeah, there
Which
is
one
one on the
last?
15th, according to Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's going on in Berlin next week. So yeah, that's why they've probably got the Berlin people. The one you showed me,
Yeah.
Berlin is next week.
Oh, God. I'm getting so pissed off by my internet. It's just. Where are we? Berlin. Berlin. I've got. I can see something about one in Berlin in May. Um, uh, 2014. It doesn't really seem like there's anything happening today on their calendar. Yeah, okay. I'm confused. I might give that friend a ring, actually, ask him what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah.
All right, well, that would be a relief if it isn't on tonight. Because, yeah, I went to something last night in London. Um, and, yeah, I've got Silicon Milk Roundabout on Sunday, and then I've got to go to this other one next week in Wimbledon. Which actually Wimbledon is a lot easier to get to. But yeah, I just thought like a fourth one within 7 days was just really going to drain me. Because I find this schmoozing people, or even talking normally to people, but where we both have vested interests is very draining.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I hope there's nothing on because I can feel a bit more composed if I do some more coding today. But
So will you
yeah.
be yeah. Well, if you post later, if you're going to be hosting the Hangout.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I can host the Hangout. I think I can't post about it on Slack, which is something.
Oh no, that's going to be a problem. I will go and see if I can get out of my commitment at 3 o'clock then, so that I can do it.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I will just post on Slack now before anything else happens. I'll post on Slack on your behalf that you're not going to be able to get.
Actually, when you're doing that, do you mind just sticking something in the tech channel and just asking if they've got? No, I actually don't bother. It's obviously a local problem. I think it's an ISP problem. So yeah, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass, isn't it? Well, anyway, I'm going to give this guy a ring and see if he can do anything Yeah, and then ring my friend and ask him what the hell he was talking about this event tonight.
Okay. Bye then.
Sorry?
Goodbye.
Yeah, okay, cheers, yeah, I'll see you later
Yeah.
on.